That wasn't there.
Here's Goff throwing for the corner for Gurley. And waiting for touchdown is the call. Gurley holds on.
Well, it's going to be funny that Todd Gurley will be catching passes for the team that he just caught a pass against earlier this season. Hello everyone, it's Bales and welcome to another video on my channel. Different video today, but breaking news in the NFL world. Todd Gurley has signed a one-year contract with the Atlanta Falcons, reported by Ian Rappaport earlier on this morning, obviously people in America, late tonight for people where I am in Australia. He got released yesterday by the Rams, which is big news. Obviously, people thought that he was probably just going to be traded, or maybe the Rams might keep him for a year and see what he'd be able to do and then eventually get rid of him. But they cut him yesterday before 4 p.m. Pacific time, because if they kept him after that time, they'd have to give him $10.5 million in guaranteed money and signing bonuses and roster bonuses and all that sort of stuff. So they cut him. I disagree with the decision. Being obviously a Rams fan, a big Todd Gurley fan, I disagree with the decision when they did that. But less than 24 hours after that happening, he's found a new team with the Atlanta Falcons, where he actually played his college football back before he got drafted in Georgia. So he's going back to Georgia, going back to his home, around his hometown. So, well, not his hometown, but where he played his college football. So it's good for him. This deal was pending a physical though, so this obviously is difficult with all the coronavirus issues going around at the moment. So obviously players can't actually travel to facilities to have medicals done, or they can't meet with doctors. They have to have a neutral doctor in their own state do a physical. But Atlanta, I'm assuming that Atlanta will want to have a doctor from their own team conduct the medical. So that will be done in due course. But at the moment, he's signed a one-year contract. Obviously, there's no fees or draft picks, anything that the Rams and Falcons have to do, because the Rams obviously, as I said, cut him. In terms of what I think the Atlanta are getting in a player, a lot of people are saying, oh, Todd Gurley's shot, he's not going to do this, he's not going to do that, his knees are blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's going to matter. I think that he's going to be a very important player for the Falcons coming up this season. They've got Edo Smith and Brian Hill there, which they're not going to carry the load. I think it could be, we could see a very similar situation to what happened in LA, where you have, or the Rams, sorry, where they had Malcolm Brown and Darrell Henderson chipping in and Todd Gurley carrying the majority of the load. I think you can probably look at seeing that again, except I think Atlanta will be handling the situation a lot better than what the Rams did, because the Rams were very, just like, he didn't get into a rhythm. He wasn't able to do what he did in the previous couple of seasons, where he's able to get in a rhythm, get you 15 to 20 carries, you have maybe 4, 5, 6 receptions. He wasn't able to get into that rhythm, which running backs are meant to do, which Eric Dickerson, I know, obviously former Rams legend, has said a number of times. Running backs are the one position where you need to get into a rhythm to be able to do your best work. And I think Atlanta are going to provide him with a very good opportunity for him to be able to do that. And I think he's going to be a very good acquisition. I would not be surprised at all if Todd Gurley went for 1,000 yards rushing next year and close to maybe 250 to 500 yards receiving. I could see him, getting 1,500 yards to 2,000 yards in combined yards from scrimmage and 10 plus touchdowns. That's obviously the best scenario. Worst case scenario, they get Todd, maybe his injury flares up again. He maybe gives them 600-700 yards rushing and maybe 200-300 yards receiving, and just not quite the acquisition. That's why they've obviously given him a one-year deal. It's a bit like a prove-it deal. So he's got his 1 year to prove if he can perform at a high level, and if they like what he does, they'll sign him for a longer contract. Obviously, he's not going to get the money he was getting at LA, being the one of the highest paid running backs in football. He was the highest paid running back until Zeke got his contract last season. He's not going to get that money, unfortunately, again, but he might be able to get a decent amount of money and a decent contract after this season, depending on how he plays. He may even still get signed, obviously, if there's a down season, but he obviously just won't get the money. It'll just be depending on how he plays this year. I don't see him obviously getting, it's almost impossible me seeing him getting a big contract like he did with LA. But he could get something like maybe $5, $6, $7, $8 million per season. I think he's still a very, very good running back. I think he's still a top 10 running back in my eyes, or top 15 at least, from being too heavy or too high, on him. I think he's still a top 10 running back. All right, so Adam Schefter has actually reported that Todd Gurley's salary heading into next season, so the Falcons will pay him $6 million per season. The Rams will pay $7.5 million per season, obviously from the contract that he signed before the start of last season. Offset is minus $2.5 million, so his total earnings next season, he'll be on an $11 million salary. And with Gurley's $11 million per season salary, he actually is still, funny enough, in top 3 earning running backs in the NFL. I think he's going to be a very, very good acquisition for the Atlanta Falcons next season. So we're going to see how this one plays out. I think it's a very good signing, as I've previously mentioned, and we'll just see exactly what happens with Todd Gurley next season. I'm absolutely wrapped for him. I'm going to enjoy watching Atlanta this next season and seeing him rushing the ball. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for my own team in the Rams, but I'm glad for him. I'm a Todd Gurley fan. I'm going to enjoy watching him next season, hopefully tearing it up for Atlanta. And you know what? If they make the Super Bowl, they make the Super Bowl. How good would it be to see Todd Gurley and the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Rams in like an NFC Championship game or one of the NFC playoff games? That'd be pretty cool. They're not scheduled to meet together in the regular season. Obviously, the NFL has increased their games to 17 from 16, so there'll be an extra game added in there. So it could be a conference game, possibly. We obviously don't know the scheduling of that yet, but there is a small chance it could, but probably not. So he's more likely, if they're going to meet in the playoffs, which there's a possibility. Obviously, they're both from the NFC and they both could make the playoffs. So we'll see what happens with all of that. So thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you've missed it again, Todd Gurley has gone to the Falcons on a 1-year contract. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video on the channel. I'm out. Cheers.